What up, everybody? It's your boy Lavell Vegas. It's Terrance Gawith and our special guest host, Jaren Dorsey. Hey, we got food from Agave Azteca. I'm probably saying that wrong, I know, but we got tostadas, we got nachos. We done bashed a lot of this stuff, but it don't even really matter about the food tonight. Tonight is our first two-part episode. This lady to the left of me, she's from Topeka, Kansas. She is on the show The Trust on Netflix. She was a little heartless on there, but we're gonna talk about that here in a minute. She was loved and then she was turned evil. I don't know what happened, but we're gonna give it to her. Give it up for Mama J.
I'm excited. Yes, thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lavell, and all you guys. Wow.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. You know we got to start, man. So,
And you knew me. Well, you knew me that you didn't know I was on it, so you kind of knew me before.
Yeah. So when I seen you talking about the show, I was like, who talks about their favorite show this much? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, okay, Jay. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know you was actually on it. I was at my son's mom's house, and I'm dropping off my son. I'm just chilling there and everything. And I was like, what are you watching? She's watching it. And she was like, it's a show called The Trust. And I'm like, oh, this is that show Jamie talking about. Like, honestly, this is what I was thinking. And
Really?
you popped up on the screen, and I was like, oh, she's on the show. This is why she keeps talking about it. Like, I was like, maybe I thought you was doing like reviews, like you was like a fan. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm just keeping it honest. I thought you was like a fan, like you was leaving reviews or something. Like, when did you become a movie reviewer? You know what I mean? So I literally didn't even know. I'm literally over her house. You pop up on the screen, and I'm like,
Did you go
oh,
on
she's
there?
on it. Yeah, and then my son's mom's like, okay, get out. Like, she don't care. She didn't care how I knew you or anything like that. She was like, leave. You know, she's a little mean, but
That is funny.
how did that come about though? Like, how did that come just rolling about, like getting on the show?
You will not believe it. A year ago, January, I know the date, January 6th. I'm playing Mahjong. You guys know what Mahjong is?
You said January 6th? 2 years ago.
2023.
Okay, we're just making sure. 'Cause January 6th, you know what I mean? That's not the best day. Hey, I'm just saying, that's not the best day. We were just, okay, we're just thinking sure.
January 6th, a year ago.
Okay.
Changing the narrative.
Yes. And I'm playing Mahjong with my girlfriend, and I get this message, and it says, apply for this right now. And you know how sometimes you get those fakey things. And I saw who it was from, and I thought, well, and so about an hour later, I texted her back, and I go, is this for real? She goes, yes, apply for it right now. I mean it. They're looking for a seasoned woman. And she goes, I thought of you. And I went, oh. So anyway, you had to, kind of filled out a little application. And I'm not kidding you, in a half hour, hello, I am so-and-so I'm a casting director from whatever, some company. And then an hour later, I'm getting another call. Hey, we're really excited about you. Are you really interested? I'm going, yeah, well, we just think you'll be perfect. And another phone call. And then all of a sudden I'm going, oh my God, is this gonna be a thing? But of course, they're not saying, I'm just in the process. And the process took 2 months. And it was paperwork and interviews, and the interviews were, I had to have the right background. I would have to stack books up, my laptop up on books and stuff, and I had to be the right height and the right makeup and everything. I mean, it had to be perfect. It couldn't be just like, yeah, hi. And then I would interview, and they go, be natural, and then I was even on a cruise ship, and I had like 4 interviews while I was on the cruise ship in my room. And so I'm stacking up trash cans and, Kleenex boxes and everything, and the ship is this. So anyway, that took from January 6th, then I got home February 28th, and I have an interview with the director. And then I find out it's a Netflix show. And we're talking it's going to be for some money, and I've made it. And then I'm leaving for the Dominican Republic in 3 days.
Man, so it was filmed in the Dominican. I didn't know it was filmed.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask. It was beautiful. I was wondering where it was.
It was the Dominican Republic, and because we that's the kind of stuff we didn't know. But the process itself, because how would you handle that? I was, you know, one minute I thought, oh, I guess I got this, but then you might not hear a thing for 3 weeks.
Right.
So then one day I just kind of went, am I in this? Oh, you're in it, you're in it, you're in it. I went, okay, right? So then when I knew I was in it, and then, and you also they do not give you a wardrobe. So I just had to take pictures of what I'm wearing, and then they would, okay, no, not that, but, you know, and I had to say, you know, have a couple of dresses, have your swimsuit and all that. So what I found funny was, you know, I ordered a couple of sundresses off of Amazon, and I have my Birkenstocks. So of course, when we get to the show, we see what everybody else is wearing, right? The heels.
They look like they was going to the club.
I was going to say,
look
they
like
were dressed. Yeah.
You look like you was going to bingo. They look like they look like they was in line for VIP. You look like you was ready to sit down and collect some chips. You know what I mean?
Yes, I did. I kept going. I'm thinking I missed some memo, but there's no way I could have wore heels. I mean, I just had to be. I had to be me.
Nothing wrong with that.
It was nothing wrong.
But yeah, it was okay. But I did find it funny that and so my choice, they always sound like, okay, tonight we're gonna have dinner, so everybody kind of dress up. So I'd have my 2 sundresses, and I had 2 pairs I had a dark pair of Birkenstocks and a light pair. So I chose, but then I'd have like, which scarf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just what I did.
Hey, that works though.
It works.
So have you seen the show? And if so, like, tell me what you liked about it, or tell me why you haven't seen the show at this point. Because I'm interested. So if you've seen the show, tell me why. If you haven't, tell me why you haven't.
Okay. I have seen the show.
Okay.
Because it dropped in January. But let me tell you, this time space, we filmed in March. And so I left on March 2nd and came home on March 17th.
Oh, that's a short time.
It's
Okay.
like 2 weeks.
Yeah, just a couple weeks. So it seems longer that you're there. But that time between there and when December 28th, I think, or somewhere around there, we got the thing, okay, we're going to start publicizing. No contact with anybody, nothing. You can't tell anybody where you've been. You can't tell anybody what's happening. It's secret, secret, secret. And the anxiety got to me.
Oh, I bet.
Wondering, I mean, I kind of had to go to therapy. I kind of had to add to my medication. I mean, I had to do some stuff because I was surprised how much it affected me. And I don't know if it affected anybody else like that, but do you guys think you would have been affected, or do you think you would have just kept telling people?
You got to cut.
No. I mean, I would have been affected because I got a son at home.
I was going to say,
So,
yeah.
but I mean, 2 weeks away from him was a vacation. So,
Well, right, and there were people, you know,
Yeah.
right. That,
but all honesty though, yeah, I would have been. But I wouldn't have said. I mean, for the money,
Yeah.
I'm quiet.
you have to be quiet because
Yeah,
they did
I ain't
say.
saying.
you
I'm
know.
not saying nothing.
Right.
I think it would have
and-
been hard to stay quiet.
It was, and
it's in your
nobody knew,
contract.
and my husband knew where I was, but he was the one who had to just, well, where is Jay? Well, what is she doing? You know, and he's going, well, I think he said I was at a comedy retreat.
See, that'd be my problem. My wife wouldn't say something believable. Like, it would be
They called it.
something nazi, like he went to Bible study for 2 weeks or something.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
you know good and hell.
People would have been
well,
checking jails if it was me. They're like, which jail is Lavell in? Hold on. Like my grandma would have been calling every jail like, nah, he did something wrong. Ain't nothing, ain't no way.
Picked up.
They only got him for that warrant. I knew it. Like that would have been my grandma.
Yeah. So it was a great relief when the show was coming out, and then we had to still wait, well, almost a month. So on January 10th was when it dropped. And so they say it's dropping at midnight. So I tell everybody, hey, it's dropping at midnight tonight. Well, guess what? That was Pacific time. So by the time, so I'm going to have to wait until 2 o'clock in the morning. So I have me and my friend Brett in Lawrence, Kansas. He's up with me, and my girlfriend Becky. We have made it to 2 a.m. and we're going for it. And I was the only one that stayed up till 6 and watched all 4 episodes. So what was weird is you have to remember, all I know is what I did, right?
Right.
I don't know what anybody else is doing, and I don't know any of that background stuff. I don't know that there's really people talking about me.
Yeah,
Right.
It was pretty.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that how they turned on you like that.
Well, it was one, like, I'm not saying that I'm not a kiss behind type of person, but I don't watch shows like that. And you
Right.
sucked me in immediately because I don't know if you remember what you said, but you said, I'm in the ocean. I want to see some effing whales. And I was like, that's my gal right there, right? Like, so I was like, I was sucked in from that. And then immediately it became the reason why I don't like shows like that. It's like that conniving, like weird stuff.
Yes.
And so I'm very curious because you've got to see both sides now. How do you look at it now? Did that change your view of the experience, I guess?
Yeah, it changed the view of the experience. Number one, everyone was upset with me because now, of course, you guys aren't really looking at it, but this is where social media comes in. And I'm a Facebook girl. I'm not TikTok or X or Instagram. So I'm not really watching that. I'm just, okay, I wonder what's going on. So everyone is really mad at me about kicking Simone off. Why'd you do that? Even my friends, why did you kick her off?
I was going to ask you that same thing.
And I'm going, what did you not watch what she did?
I mean, I understood the answer. The
I understood, but I was surprised. I guess I was just
Because you were probably thinking, this is what, and now I do understand this. Well, she had a right to her opinion, but to side with Jake was so
that was
awful
ridiculous.
Because there was so much more to that. There was so much more to that whole
well,
scene.
the tone too. Like I'm very much about tone and such, and like what you said, like I think you said something specifically, like I witnessed gameship or games or something like that. And I was like, I said to my wife too, I was like, something about her tone changed, and I was like, I bet that's what Jay was talking about.
Yeah.
Like, because it was the way she, well, you don't speak for everybody sort of thing. And it's like,
Yeah,
well, that should have been something that would have been made known before if you weren't trying to game.
Yeah. Right. And see, before that had happened, I had been on there's two divans, kind of like this. And I had been sitting over there. Well, Julie had been sitting next to me with her head on my shoulder crying. And I'm comforting her, Mama J, right? And because Jake had just been treating her like crap that day. It just been and then the girls had just told me the crap he'd been saying to them. And that's the famous where I spelled misogyny wrong.
Yeah.
That was that whole conversation. So I am very protective. And I hate that stuff. I hate any kind of racism, misogyny, sexism, being mean to people. So that's where I was when I am addressing him. And then for her to just say, oh, I'm not with you guys, I'm with him, because she had been in our room and had heard us say all that. So then she was kind of a spy.
Yeah.
But nobody ever really saw that because that wasn't.
Because she claimed when she did her vote, it was to protect him.
Yes.
Or whatever like that. But then y'all both voted for Simone.
And I didn't know that.
So then y'all both voted Simone off, and I'm like, what?
And I didn't know that until the show came on.
And she didn't know.
She was like, I feel so bad. I was like,
Well, why you feel bad? You should have never went down there and did that.
Yeah, and because I had got on her, because remember how Tolu was crying because Simone said, well, I knew this would be hard on Tolu. And I go, well, why didn't you stand up for her?
Right.
I mean, I was just always blah, blah, And so that started a thing. Well, but I didn't know Julie had voted for her till I saw the show. Is that hysterical?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was funny when I seen it. I was like,
Well, because I was like, no, Mama J's dead set on voting for Jake until
I still thought it.
that happened. Until you said, literally, you brought up something about like the disrespect or something, but it was kind of cloaked, but not really. Like I knew it was there. So, do you have a relationship with anybody still? Have you been in contact? Like, how's that been?
Yes. At first, when I left, that had been a very bad day. I was sitting at that poker table. I'm not kidding you. An hour before that scene, and you all know what I'm talking about. An hour before that, I had just found out that Lindsay had been against me, and I had not a clue. That's how good she was. And honestly, how she comes off on the show, I didn't ever see any of that. You know, her and I would just be talking like this,
I was
right?
talking normal.
Yeah, just
Boy,
there
she's
was none of this. Yeah,
She's crazy.
Only one time she came up to me and she goes, "All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to vote so-and-so off, and we're going to this, and we're going to that." And she goes, "Are you with me?" And I had upset stomach all day and been in the bathroom. And I go, "Listen, I got to tell you, I have not felt good all day." And I said, I've been the P word, poop, whatever, all day and watching whales.
P-word. What is this? PG-13?
Oh yeah.
What was the P word?
Poopsies.
Poopy.
Sorry. Oh, word my son says. That's 3. I'm sorry about that. So yeah, let's blur that out,
I
guys.
actually said a different word, but anyway.
Oh, okay.
And I
What was
said
the different word?
the S word.
What's the S word? Oh, shit. Oh, okay. I think we're allowed to say that. I think so. If not, my bad.
What was
Mike.
it? Slow? Sorry, couldn't quite pick that out.
Sorry about that. Sorry
Sorry about all that. Anyway,
and
and so I said, "Listen, I've just been doing that and watching the whales all day. I don't care what you're doing." So then that was it. And so everybody knew I was just kind of by myself. That's why you never really saw me in the groups. So that day, we're getting ready to go downstairs, and she goes, "Well, who are you voting for? Are you going to vote somebody off tonight?" I go, "Yeah, I'm voting Jake off." And she literally got up and walked into his room. And I went, "Oh."
Yeah.
And so I went into Tolu and Winnie's room, and I just go, "Are you guys my friends? I'm just kind of in shock." And they go, "Yes, Mama J." And they gave me a hug, and I told them what happened. They go, "No, you just know you got us." I go, okay. So then I'm sitting next to Tolu at that table, and everybody hates me. Nobody is talking to me that day. It was horrible. And I just wanted to cry. And of course, nobody's giving me any stupid chips. I'm just like, this is the stupidest game. And Brian is, oh my God. And so when, I got the key to the vault, I was like, "Oh, thank you, God." And when I went in there, I mean, I was really crying. I was in there a lot longer than it showed, but I did go. I mean, they did show me the book pretty quick. And I went, "Oh, thank you, God. Yes, I'm taking that." Because remember, the team had just gotten $25,000, and I just took it from them.
Yeah.
I love that. I thought that was so funny. And I go, yeah. And so that became a real thing on social media. There's this guy on TikTok, and he does this. Maybe, have you seen it on my Facebook? Oh, he does the funniest thing about, so she's not coming back? No. So she's not part of the team anymore? No. And then he just gets up and he just walks out, and he's mimicking me. And so anyway, so that was my last day, and I couldn't say goodbye. But I had a message. One of the producers said, "Tolu and Winnie say they love you," because it was like FBI going to, what is it when you're going to go in hiding? It was like we had to run up to the room and get my clothes, and then I had to run and get in a van.
So you didn't get to say bye to nobody?
No.
They didn't even know you was going or nothing.
And guess what? It was apparent they didn't even give a shit, right? The next day, they weren't going, "Oh, where's Mama J?"
Yeah. I thought Brian was he was cool at first, and then he started looking like a follower, man. I thought he was a soldier, man. Like, he was a soldier or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like, I thought he was a real one, and then he was like, "Well, if we got to eliminate somebody, I'm down to do that." I'm like, "Bro, what happened to you, man?"
Yeah.
Very, all of us can get the money to...
He was...
And he ended up the richest.
Yep.
And so back to that original question, I am in contact. At first, it was really just Winnie and Tolu.
Okay.
And then we all got to go to California for they did a photo shoot. And so I saw everybody, but the only person I did not talk to was Jake. And I didn't talk to Brian, not because for any reason, I just really didn't. I kind of ran into everybody else. But now I am friends with everybody, and we kind of message back and forth. Even Simone, I do not do much with Lindsay, but everybody else, and not Jake at all. And
You
everybody will
said-
say, "What
you
would
said
you?"
everybody? No.
Let's say Jake.
She said
Jake,
everybody and then starts subtracting.
This-
I would, and I.
But that
but,
Lindsay lady, my God, man.
Yeah, and even now, I just kind of, I mean, every now and then I might say something, but she does not really respond to me like some of the others. But Jake, everybody said, I said, oh my God, I wish Tolu would have said Jake. Wouldn't that have been so cool at the end? Oh God. Because I don't know, have you delved into who he is in real life?
No,
No.
I think he's. I served in the military, and
Yes.
so I've been around a lot of dudes like Jake, and there's something about him that rubs me the wrong way. My wife keeps being like, it's his lack of hubris, I think, and the fact that he can't see and call his own BS.
Yeah.
Like that whole leadership struggle that you mentioned and
Yes.
everything. It's like, yeah, dude, you don't even, whatever. Yeah.
And who was he scared of? Who was he scared of? Mama J.
Yeah.
She's a sniper. She's unhinged.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
Even when he did the whole leadership thing and he put himself in the front of the line.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it sort of backfired on him because then he had to put everybody in order.
Yeah.
But then the girl you like, you got her all the way almost at the end. He didn't make no sense in anything he started to do.
Because he's a dummy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he started
Well-
playing like the victim card, and he wanted to be like he wanted everybody to feel sorry for him. And I'm
We
like,
all know the type.
come on, bro, you can't turn around.
I knew he was a simp when he kept telling all the girls, "I see you." Like the only
Yeah.
I see an African queen.
Yeah,
They
like,
don't know what
literally,
Yeah,
like, I
oh,
just
man.
made my
Oh.
skin crawl.
Oh, and he came up to me. I was in full feminist mode. I tell you what, because one of my friends is equal means equal, and I'm part of that. And there's all this crap was going on in Topeka, and the abortion stuff was going. I mean, all of this stuff is going on. So I am in full. Nobody's messing with me or the ladies, right? So I am just not having any of it. No homophobia, no racism, no nothing. And so, and it just, I just couldn't. And it was just, all my buttons were just being pushed right and left. The whole time I was just like, what is with these people? And poor Bryce, I thought they were, did you understand the bird of a different feather comment?
Yeah.
Now, I found this interesting. I was with Jamie, and I are the ones who went to Ellenwood. He said, I got that right off the bat. That's what we say if you think somebody's gay in our part of town, in our area.
Yep.
Well, they were saying, oh, no, that just meant somebody's different. And I'm like, no.
They're technically not wrong, but
But that's another question I wanted to get to because everybody seemed cool with it. But was you cool with somebody being a millionaire and they was on the show?
Oh, right, no.
That's a great question.
That
Yes.
I mean, honestly, me personally, I'm voting him off. I don't care what they say. Like, you ain't going through the struggle, my boy. I got to let you
Let me
up.
just say real quick.
Yes.
Like when he watching the show, right, and then he lies about it, and then he spins it by saying, "Yeah, like I'm just here for the experience." I'm like, well, you can just go to your local
pay for
book
it.
club and get some.
Pay for it.
So I guess my point is like when he got voted off, and he's just like, "So does anybody want to fess up about this?" I'm like, I don't think you understand. Like you're literally like removing the different feather, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you understand the position of you're still fitting into a wrong crowd with that one.
I just felt like once he started talking about it, it's like he wanted to brag about it. You know what I mean? It didn't seem like it was genuine. It was like, he's like, hey guys, I'm the millionaire. And I'm like, this
it's
dude,
almost like
really?
the silver spoon person telling you that you need to do better in your life.
Right. And see, Bryce and Gaspar and Lindsay and I were roommates. There were 4 of us in our room. So Bryce and I were friends. So once again, I know he's a millionaire, but also I don't know he has all this fancy stuff. I don't know what a bag of what, I don't know that stuff. So see, I'm not as offended as everybody. And my secret was I used to be a millionaire. I'm not anymore, right? So that's why I said you don't have to apologize for your wealth because there were other wealthy people sitting at that table.
Right.
So see, I think
the rancher, Brian, 100%. I'm glad you said it. I was going to ask you about it.
Yeah.
There's never been a damn
Yes.
poor rancher, and I think that guy's full of shit.
So just saying,
right.
there was other wealth at that table, but nobody's honoring it.
Yeah.
So yes, I think where Bryce got hit was just by when he started having fun and telling people, and he did it. He said something to Julie about how he couldn't read it. Now, did she really eat food out of the garbage dump? You know what? Look at what she got for that story. She got to safe one day. She got to go jump in the river. Everybody was feeling
she
sorry
was playing
for her.
the game perfectly.
Exactly.
Another one that was like every time she'd cry, I just like nails on a chalkboard.
The only thing she
didn't
didn't do was cut her hair like Britney Spears.
For real. She was one step shy of that. That was it. Like literally, every time somebody'd say something, they said a lot of mean words.
And then she goes into the private room where you're talking about, hey, but look, like I'm trying to play with Jake's emotions because I'm the hot girl. Let me unzip this a little bit. And then, but I grew up in the streets. I was like, look,
she did.
Listen.
Then the nipples went like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they all
I don't know what was going on.
That's what's so that's the interesting part, right? And I know we got to kind of like wind it down, but like, I'm so curious about the dual aspects.
Yeah.
Would you change anything now that you've seen it from the first person point of view, and then you've seen it from the bird's eye view? Would Mama J change anything?
And I think I need to think about that, because if we could just start up with that in a minute, because that. I have thought about it, but not in that term. And I would like to, I'll tell you what my thoughts have been.
I'm gonna cut you off because we got 30 seconds for this half.
Okay.
So we're gonna continue talking about it the second half.
Okay.
We're gonna put that on the back burner.
We're gonna put that one on the back burner. I'll let you ask it again and everything like that. We're gonna take a quick two real quick. So this is the first part of Food and Laughter with Mama J, and we'll see you on the second part.
Are we laughing? We're laughing, but we're serious.
At the same time.
We're laughing, but we're serious.
All right.